Damn boy, you frying the chicken in there. What the fuck? What the fuck? I've never heard that expression for pissing. You frying chicken in there. What the fuck? Yeah, amen, brother. I was putting her in the deep fat fryer. What a beautiful expression. Thanks to the tier 1 flames in the prime Drew G.
Craigslist, a website dedicated to advertisements with sections devoted to jobs, housing, items for sale, services, and discussion forums. The website was created by Craig Newmark in 1995.
Holy shit, wait, that's the Craig? That's Mr. List himself? I've never looked up the history of Craigslist. I thought it was just like a random name they pulled out, because Craig is super standard, like very generic NPC kind of shit. Nice. It's like MySpace Tom.
As an email distribution list to friends that featured local events in the San
Here's a
Francisco
tier 1
Bay
kitty,
Area.
and there's
It
a
became a
Peyton and
web-based
Bubble.
service in 1996 and expanded into other classified categories. As the years went on, it became the Craigslist we know today. Now, I know the popularity of Craigslist has gone down since its peak in the 2010s, but you'd be surprised to know that in 2018, the website had at least 60 million monthly users in the US alone. So with all these people interacting on the site, it's no doubt that some horrible ones slipped through the cracks. Welcome to the dangerous world of Craigslist criminals. Philip Markoff.
What?
Philip Markoff.
Wait, what is that? Wasn't there a guy who put his nudes in a desk he sold on Craigslist? That's fucking big brain. I mean, maybe. Probably, I guess. I don't know if he did it on purpose, man. He was just selling his desk and probably just forgot about his dick pics, man. Was that like a big story or something? I could absolutely imagine that happening. It shit probably happens at garage sales all the time. Thanks to the resub worldwide and Galaxy.
Markoff, in 2009, was a 23-year-old med student at Boston University. He had a fiancée and seemed to be an average-looking dude. Though if we know anything about murderers, it's that they look average. He was a big 6'3" white male that was known by his friends exactly being a goofy, smart guy. Not only was he goofy, but he was incredibly smart when it came to schooling, as he was in the National Honor Society. Though he wasn't as smart when it came to hiding evidence. Let me explain.
Hey, fun fact, I was also in the National Honor Society.
The erotic services section set up dates with girls who were advertising themselves in the Boston area, escorts, and robbed them at gunpoint. Though one sadly ended up being killed. Here are their stories. April 10th, 2009. Trisha Leffler, age 29, his first victim, was a prostitute that would travel to different locations and stay in hotels in wealthy cities. He called and they set up a date to meet up and a place. They planned to meet up at the hotel she was staying at, which was Westin Copley Place. Once he entered, he pointed a pistol at her, handcuffed her with zip ties, and robbed her. Keep in mind, this dumbass wasn't wearing a mask. Not only that, but he was wearing black gloves to cover his fingerprints, but was persistent on removing his phone number from Trisha's phone, and I guess the gloves are too thick so he couldn't really type, so he removed the gloves to type, and the fingerprints were on the phone. It's like, you dumb mother... He then tied her to the doorknob from the inside, taped her mouth shut while leaving fingerprints on the roll of tape. He also took a knife out of his pocket and cut the hotel phone lines. He stole $800 in cash and her credit cards. He also picked up some of her underwear that was on the floor, put it in his pocket, and left. 4 days later,
oh, a little car freshener.
2009.
Huffing the fumes.
Age 25, became Markoff's second victim. She was an aspiring model from New York City and was described as an extremely happy party girl who liked having fun. Just like Trisha, she also advertised herself in the erotic services section on Craigslist, though Jalissa was offering massage services for extra money. Extra money due to it being extremely hard to make money as a beginning model, actress, or just being in that entertainment business. Her family and detectives say she wasn't a prostitute. She was genuinely giving amateur massages. She was staying at the Copley Marriott Hotel in Boston, Massachusetts, and eventually Philip arrives at her hotel room. The story I'm about to tell you is from police, because sadly there's no one to tell the story how it actually happened. Police believe that he immediately pulled the gun on her once he entered the room, got at least one plastic tie on her wrist, she fought back, and things escalated quickly. He pistol whipped her on the head and then shot her 4 times. Police say he didn't have to kill her. She had no weapons and he was a way bigger person. And when he fled the scene, her body leaned against the main hotel door and half of her dead body could be seen by anyone in the hallways. A woman that was staying next door said she heard a commotion down the hall. Eventually, she peeked her head out the door and saw a woman who was half in and half out of the doorway. she immediately called security, and the security called the police. So keep in mind, Trisha's robbery happened in April 10th, 2009, and then this murder happened April 14th, 2009, so just 4 days later. And now, 2 days after that, April 16th, 2009. 2 days after the murder of Julissa Brisman, Cynthia Melton was Markoff's third and final victim. Cynthia was an exotic dancer at the time and was also advertising herself on Craigslist, saying she'll give private lap dances for $200 to anyone in her hotel room. She explained that unlike the other cases, Philip was nervous, and when he pointed the pistol at her, his hand was shaking. He said, "I'm broke. I don't want to kill you. I just want cards or money." So he zip-tied her down while he searched her room. Her phone rang, but he ignored it. Then it rang again. And again, the calls were coming from her business manager and husband. Her husband was aware that she provided these services and was okay with it, and was most likely playing the role of a pimp. Someone that just makes sure that the girls are okay and they don't get scammed.
That sounds like Craigslist.
Well, that's why the pimp is there, right? He gonna pull up. She was supposed to give her business manager a signal to show that she was safe. When he didn't get the signal, he began calling her nonstop. Suddenly, Cynthia's husband opens the room door because he had an extra key, and Philip instantly points the gun at him. The husband starts running down the hall, presumably to get help, and Philip begins escaping down the other side of the same hallway. So in that situation, no one died, but the only girl that did die was Julia Brisman. So rest in peace to her. I mean, it's obvious that this dude was only going on Craigslist to find vulnerable girls. Getting caught. One of Julissa's friends found the emails that Philip and Julissa had exchanged and contacted authorities, explained that she had his IP address. Detectives traced the IP to an apartment belonging to Philip Markoff, a 23-year-old med student at Boston University. He had a fiancée at the time who knew nothing about what he was up to on Craigslist. He was arrested shortly after. During trial, he pleaded not guilty, which was dumb because detectives found the gun he used to murder Julissa in his room with his fingerprints on it. His trial
circumstantial evidence.
Was in prison. Markoff made several suicide attempts while at the Nashua Street jail. One attempt was made 3 days after his arrest, an additional attempt after his fiancée broke up with him, and another attempt on the day his wedding was to have taken place. At various times, he was on watch or in the jail psychiatric unit. On August 15th, 2010, 1 year and 1 day after his wedding would have taken place, Markoff was found dead in his cell. He had used a knife made from a pen and a piece of metal to cut arteries in his ankles, legs, and neck. He had also swallowed toilet paper and tightened a plastic bag over his head with gauze. Additionally,
this dude did 8 different suicides.
Name and their pet names for each other and photographs of them two were scattered about. So yeah, sadly, Julissa did die, and the other girls did have a traumatic experience. This dude killed himself in the jail, which would have been a happy ending, but sadly he had to kill a girl, right? Let's move on to the next one.
God damn. So that's like 8 different ways of killing himself. My God, he used every ounce of that med student knowledge. Jesus. How long ago was that? What year did he say? I imagine this had to be during like the height of Craigslist. Because I remember, like, they're all... 2009? Is that what it was? Okay. I remember back in... God, it must have been high school. When was the big Craigslist killer that got a lot of press? I think it was high school for me. And when that happened, everyone was like, yeah, it sounds about right for Craigslist. Do people still use it for services and shit? Like, do people still advertise this kind of shit on there? Because like I said, I haven't used it in a while. Yeah, they do? God, this got to be the riskiest shit ever. Why? Bro, just fucking like pass out flyers at a gas station or something. You're a lot better off. Because even in high school, all of us were like, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what you'd expect from Craigslist services. Just a bunch of fucking psychopaths. I don't know why you would trust that. It's terrible. It's scary. I use it for cars. Well, yeah, you can buy shit from Craigslist, man. I don't think you're going to run into a guy who's going to, like, fuck your shit up over a beat-up bug or anything. Like, you could probably buy cars if you want. I'm talking about the services category. There's Resub Jarhead in Coleman, in Wamboni, in Ghosty. Naivety, mostly? I don't know, though. I don't know about that. I think it's probably just convenience, mostly. Because it's a lot less work to just put up an ad like, I'll touch your butt for $200 on Craigslist. It's a lot less work to do that as opposed to, like, marketing that somewhere else. You just leave that shit stand up there forever. And then eventually someone reaches out, but you don't want that person. It's very scary. Like, I can't imagine this shit is uncommon. It's just sometimes they don't get as much press as others.
Being on Craigslist is dangerous. Being on the internet alone is dangerous.
Reflection.
Thankfully, we have a sponsor perfect for today's video topic. This video is sponsored by Atlas VPN. Atlas VPN is a tool that encrypts and hides your virtual location. When connected to a VPN server,
high risk, high reward.
IP
I don't think it's high
DNS
reward,
address.
man.
When the traffic arrives at the server, the VPN server decrypts information and allows the traffic to access the desired destination. Seriously, guys, if you're trying to be safe on the internet, Atlas is the way to go. Right now, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. It means you can get a 3-year subscription for just $139 a month.
Me and my pops did some good lawn work on Craigslist services section.
For free using my link. Time is running out, so get your deal by clicking the link in the description below.
You disgusting degenerate.
What you can do with it. You can actually save money with a VPN. Yeah, I didn't even know that myself.
So many websites have
their pricing adjusted based on the region that your computer is in. With the information provided by cookies and IP addresses, these services can guess where you are located. Once you switch your location to like India, for example, the price in whatever you're looking at will see a huge drop. We've tried this out on many different websites.
Why are you watching an ad?
Airline companies,
subscription
services like Spotify, YouTube Premium, and
I'll let it ride.
Like I said before, Atlas VPN is running a huge discount. You can get a 3-year subscription for just $139 a month with a 30-day money-back guarantee. And you also get 3 extra months for free using my link. Time is running out, so make sure to click the link in the description below. And now, let's get back to the dangerous world of Craigslist criminals. Anne-Marie Linscott. In November 2007,
why does that name
3
sound so
California
familiar?
residents were searching Craigslist for job opportunities, and they exchanged emails with a woman named Anne-Marie Linscott regarding a job opportunity she was advertising on the website. The job description was advertised as quote-unquote freelance with no further information provided. During the email exchange, Linscott, who was a Michigan resident, asked each of the 3 individuals responding to her advertisement to quote-unquote eradicate a woman living in Oroville, California.
What the fuck?
She put up a hitman ad on Craigslist. She provided additional information on
big word for that, eradicate.
Of the victim.
That's not just like kill or
address. Linscott offered a hefty payment upon completion of the quote-unquote eradication task. The 3 individuals reported that to the police, as any other normal human being would do. But why? Why did Anne-Marie Linscott want someone eradicated, aka killed, in California when she lives in Michigan? Well, that random woman that she wanted dead wasn't actually so random. Anne-Marie began a secret relationship with a man from California while she lived in Michigan in 2004. Both were married and in their 40s, but Linscott had children. As the time went on, they booked flights and visited each other, of course keeping it as secretive as possible. In 2007, it was clear that Linscott wanted to fully commit to the relationship and began saying very creepy and stalkery things, like saying she was going to move to California to be close to the Oroville man. In April of 2007, things began getting extremely scary. A Molotov cocktail with a fuse was found under the bed of the man's wife, named Carol. Thankfully, it didn't go off. Then the Craigslist ad we were talking about was made.
A Molotov cocktail time bomb?
Assassins to eradicate a 56-year-old woman from Oroville named Carol. The price? $5,000. She made sure to emphasize that this was a very serious job and not fake. She also explained how the amateur hitman would have all their expenses paid on top of the $5,000. Her only fear was having the murder traced back to her. Well, you should have thought about that before trying to hire a hitman on an extremely popular public website. Anne-Marie, you should watch these videos right here in case you really want to hire a hitman. I made videos talking about it. That was a joke.
True, he does give like tutorials, I guess.
And also watch The Dangerous World of 4chan Criminals. So those 3 people that engaged in the ad called the authorities, and then the authorities got the FBI involved. They confronted her with copies of the details of the hitman ad, and when asked about what she meant by the word eradicate, she said, and I quote, duh, well, to have her killed. Looks like she's a very smart criminal. Very smart. In 2009, Anne-Marie Linscott was sentenced to 151 months in prison, aka 12 and a half years. That means she was released last year in 2021.
Wow.
So Anne-Marie, if you're watching this, let me tell you right now, Craigslist isn't the way to go. It's not really what the cool kids use anymore. If you want to get on a website that everyone uses to hire hitmen, they go to tubmerch.creator-spring.com.
Oh, what a plug.
On that website, like, you get hitmen like instantly in your DM. So
Exit tier
if you
1
want to go
cheddar.
try it out, Anne-Marie Linscott, you should go try that. That was a joke again. No one sue me, please. That was a joke.
What is she doing now, I wonder if she's out? Let me
Jason
Let's take a peek. Anne-Marie Linscott. Maybe she's like a streamer or something. Fuck. When I have to go to the right side of the keyboard, it gets much slower. Alright, what are we looking at? I'm guessing this is her, just now working at a normal place. Damn. Underwhelming. Kind of anticlimactic. I think the resub symbol. Probably too old to be public. What do you mean? The stories are still public. In 2009, all those articles and everything still exist. What do you mean? She makes NFTs now. Wouldn't be surprised. She does seem to have a pretty good grip on technology.
Brown. Jason Brown was a 25-year-old man in 2014 and would find thrill out of adopting dogs that were looking for homes and torturing them until death. I won't be getting into details on how exactly he tortured these dogs. This story is a lot like the Omegle cat killer, which we've talked about before. So how was James Brown caught? He was staying at a motel and a maid had knocked on the door to check on him days later, but no one answered. She then unlocked the door to clean the room and found bloodstains, dog limbs, drug paraphernalia. She then called the manager, who found a decapitated brown dog in the bathtub and called Reno police. While the manager waited for the police to arrive, Brown had returned to the room and fled. Not only did he kill innocent dogs that were just looking for a home on Craigslist, but he recorded everything. The recordings were only seen by the judge, the lawyers, and a detective. But in the video, Brown could be heard saying that this was his house of pain, and he wanted to turn them into a fur coat. Brown is heard saying in one of the recordings that he found dogs through Craigslist and looked for, quote, pets free on the ads. So he would just go on the search term, just free pets, right? People that had responded to Brown's request through Craigslist testified that he seemed like a normal guy. They were seen sobbing in the courtroom. He claimed that he couldn't remember committing the acts because he was injecting heroin, methamphetamine, and cocaine during more than a 2-month-long binge. The recordings were taken by Brown as well as...
Oh, then he can't be held accountable.
Jason Brown was sentenced to 28 years in prison.
Hey, fuck yeah.
You guys just said. You said, that's it? Yeah, I know, right? I don't know either. This fucker deserves life in prison.
That's so much more than I thought it would be. Usually animal crimes are like days in prison. So that's huge. Like, that's big in that world. Typically, like, we watched the video not long ago. Well, a better example, the YouTube cat killer, the guy that murdered cats on video and used to just post them freely on YouTube, that guy only saw jail for like a day. I don't even know if he saw jail. I'm just assuming because I don't remember now. But like, that shit does not carry hefty sentences usually. So at least that guy got a fat one. I still haven't seen Don't Fuck With Cats. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about the YouTuber. I even made a video on him like a year or whatever ago. I forgot his name. Pollution, I think. Yeah, that's what. Pollution. That kid, like, he wasn't in jail for any length of time at all. Luke Magnotta? Luke Magnotta started as an animal killer and then didn't he murder a human being? I always think that someone that's like murdering and decapitating and bathing in the blood of animals and whatever always deserves heftier penalties in prison because there's such a strong correlation with that behavior and becoming a real serial killer. So like someone like Pollution Entertainment, that guy should still be in jail for a long time. I don't know why they're so lenient on it. Luke Magnotta got his victim from Craigslist as well. Jesus Christ, really? God damn.
Diaz. Okay, so kinks. Everyone has them. At least I think everyone has kinks. But we're going to be talking about an R-word kink. R-word, as in R-A-P-E. I think I might have censored that too.
He's a prime peaches.
R-word, you guys should know. People that like to roleplay consensual non-consent with a safe word, obviously. Noob. I'm not here to kink shame. To each their own. Yes, it exists. I just want to make that clear before we get into the story. So men would go on Craigslist and ask around if any women wanted to volunteer. Some of these ads appeared on Craigslist in 2016 in Southern California. A woman identified as Angela Diaz responded. She sent them photos of herself and details about her daily routine, telling some men that she wanted them to engage in R-word play, even if she screamed or resisted. And so the men began showing up at her condo. On one occasion, she even called the police and said they attempted R-word. The officers came by and saw visible redness and bruises on her neck. She even had her shirt ripped. So you're probably wondering, wait, why did she call the cops if she wanted R-word play? Then she responded to the messages. Well, someone set her up. Yeah, someone else was pretending to be her and put pictures of her on Craigslist and said, "Hey, that's me. Here's my address. You can do anything even if I scream or resist." Yeah, but wait, keep listening.
God
the story gets
damn.
crazier. She told the police that she had not in fact
That's like a
posted
Sam
messages
Pepper
on
prank.
Craigslist. She told them that they were actually posted by someone posing as her, which we later found out was her husband's ex-girlfriend, Michelle Hadley. Hadley of Ontario, California, was charged with multiple felonies, including stalking, criminal threats, and attempted forcible, facing a life sentence in prison if convicted. But months later, they found out that no, Hadley was innocent. She never set up Angela.
What?
So who set up Angela? You will never believe this. Angela set herself up on purpose and tried to make it seem like Hadley was a bad person. Yeah, she literally went on Craigslist and promoted herself to be R-worded just so it could happen and then be like, "Oh man, I know who it was. It was this person." She was so deep into this that she literally got into her email, Hadley's email, and was sending herself threats. I don't know, bro. I don't know. So
oh my God.
Angela wanted to do that to herself just to get her in trouble. I thought we had seen the most when we talked about 4chan, right? But like, people on Craigslist are crazy, bro. Well, people on any website.
Thanks, Arisa.
Angela Diaz ended up being arrested and faced felony charges, including kidnapping, false imprisonment by menace, fraud or deceit, perjury, grand theft, and forgery. Honestly, I'm gonna end this one off with don't do that. Don't go on Craigslist and actually don't go on Craigslist at all. What am I saying? Craigslist, my mom uses it. I think it's well, not for stuff like this, but she uses it for like, I don't know.
To be fair, I don't use
Craigslist
Craigslist either. It's not for me.
I'm talking too much. Let's get to the next one.
I've never found anything good off Craigslist.
Kidnapping. In 2014, Haley Turner, which was 18, pleaded guilty to felony charges of causing a false police report to be filed. She claimed she was abducted on August 7th, just north of Ohio, in Bedford Township, and held hostage for 16 hours. But the whole thing was a lie. Turner was reported
Great
missing
deal on
that
used
night
furniture.
After police say she called her friend to say she was
I've
going
never
to
used
stop
it for
and
furniture.
check on a man.
I've used the same furniture for like 10 years now.
Store. Seconds later, police said Turner told her friend, quote, "He has a gun," and the phone was disconnected. The following day, a local resident spotted Turner standing at a corner in Escorts, near Detroit, holding a puppy. The Good Samaritan called 911 when the teen claimed she jumped from a moving vehicle to escape her captor. Police, however, did not believe Turner's story. She later confessed that she concocted the kidnapping, telling a Monroe County judge that she posted a Craigslist notice stating that she was an 18-year-old girl, quote, "looking to be kidnapped and taken away." It was not revealed in the court what her motives were, but other Craigslist posts indicated that she just wanted attention and that it could, quote, "be fun." A police investigation revealed that a man did respond to the ad, but that man has not been identified. So she wasn't sent to prison since she was under 21. She just had to pay a fine of $15,000, and I think she did some probation service as well. I say this to my friends all the time, but like, no gender stuff, no gender, no arguments, all right? But like, cause we're dumb, bro. My friends and I, we're dumb, we're stupid, we be doing dumb stuff. And I always tell them, damn, girls are so smart, I love them. And then I hear stories like this, I'm like, what the fuck?
She just needs therapy.
Not saying all girls are dumb, obviously. Yeah. I love y'all girls. I'm just saying, like any other human, y'all can be dumb. Like any other gender, y'all can be dumb. Like any other person, y'all can be dumb. Alright guys, thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, and if you like this style of videos, go watch the Dangerous Criminals. And, you know, just become...
The guy in the background is creepy.
Like me.
Danny DeVito?
Please like me. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. There's a video coming soon. Go follow me on Instagram, Twitter. I have a Patreon. Join the Discord. I'll see you guys next time I upload.
God damn. That Angela story had so many fucking twists and turns. Jesus Christ. Nice.